If you look at some media outlets, this election is practically over. The next 10 weeks, I can just go on a cruise or take a lot of naps. Look at Politico. Here's two headlines on the same day. Politico, Clinton's advisors tell her to prep for a landslide. This is, of course, all quoting Hillary Clinton's strategists and allies, reflecting a level of confidence in Clinton's inner circle that she has many ways to get to the magic 270 electoral votes. Same day, Politico, inside Trump Tower, facing grim reality. And it says Donald Trump's campaign is teetering, threatening to collapse under the weight of a candidate whose personality outweighs his political skill. Okay, the last time I checked, the race was tightening according to the polls. And by the way, we spend too much time obsessing about every single poll. This is the addiction of the news business. Sometimes I may even fall under its spell. But if you look at where the race was 3-4 weeks ago, when Hillary Clinton had a 10-point lead, and there was a widespread expectation in the media that she's going to win this thing. Now, depending on what polls you look at, Fox News poll, for example, in a four-way race, including the third and fourth party candidates, Clinton's lead is margin of error, 2 points. If it's just head-to-head, then it's 6 points, but that's down from 10 in early August. Other polls showing something similar. Now, I could go through all the swing state polls, Florida, Pennsylvania, which the Trump campaign had hoped to put into play, Ohio, Iowa, New Hampshire, and show you that in most of those, Hillary Clinton has a lead, but she doesn't have an overwhelming lead. There's a gap that could be closed. At the same time, she is putting into play, at least making competitive, some states like Colorado and Nevada and North Carolina that had been reliably Republican in the past. At least she can make Donald Trump spend time and resources there. But this whole effort to decide in advance that the election's over when we haven't even had any of the debates just strikes me as a little bit crazy. And there is, you see it in much more subtle form in a number of media outlets which are running stories on, well, if Hillary Clinton wins the election, you know, who'll be in her cabinet? Or if Hillary Clinton wins the election, could she be undermined if the Trump forces and Trump allies say that the election was rigged? Or if Hillary Clinton wins the election, given that she's been endorsed by a number of high-profile former Bush administration officials and seems to be reaching out to Republicans in some of her rhetoric, is she boxing herself in where she will govern more closer to the center rather than on the left? Now, they're all interesting questions to explore, but let's not lose sight of the fact that Donald Trump could still win this election. Is he favored at the moment? No. But when you have somebody who is down by 3, 4, 5 points in the very beginning of September versus somebody who was down 10, 11, 12 points in the beginning of August, that shows you the race is tightening. And by the way, the race was always going to tighten. There was always going to be a Trump comeback story because Hillary Clinton was not going to stay at the very high levels that she had been, and the recent revelations on new disclosures on the email and the family foundation are hurting her. Trump hasn't moved up much, but he also hasn't lost much of his support. And by the way, even at the numbers he's got now, that means tens of millions of Americans say they're going to vote for Donald Trump despite all of the negative coverage, despite the heavy focus on the immigration speech and all of that. All I'm saying here is, as a journalist, it's my job to keep an open mind. Now, if we're in mid-October and Hillary Clinton is leading in every swing state, then we should reflect that. But right now, a lot of these obituaries for the Trump campaign seem just a little bit premature.